Hello dear friends, today we will be discussing something which is related to safety. Hospitals are considered to be safer places where injuries are treated rather than generated. Even though hospitals follow many of the safety measures and monitor reports of accidents when happened, there is always a boundless chance for a new accident to happen because hospital environment is charged with many of the risks. Apart from risk, hospitals are in combination of numerous hazards in different parts of the building like biological, chemical, physical and fire hazards. There have been a major incidents in hospital reported in the past, including the fire accidents which occur nowadays. Fire accidents taking place in hospitals are not easily controllable, and casualties are more because of the evacuating techniques are typically diverse and most of the patients cannot move out by themselves. And if this accident happens nearby anesthesia care or intensive care unit where patients inside the wards might not be aware of fire and could not respond properly to call for help. This is why a fire accident is always very precious in a hospital. So in this session we will be discussing regarding the fire fighting equipment and what proper evacuation techniques need to be followed and what happens or what are the hazards which are associated with the fire in the hospital environment. And we also will be discussing regarding evacuation plan, fire extinguishing equipment, and which should be easily approachable, readily usable and maintained properly in regular intervals, and competent persons in evacuation techniques should be available at all the times. Dear friends, my name is Pradeep Kondugudi and today we will be seeing regarding fire safety in a hospital, that is code red. Here I have taken an example of activating code red by dialing 5000. This number differs from hospital to hospital. Some hospitals might use 4-digit number or 3-digit number or 2-digit number, or even a single digit number can be used to activate code red. It all depends on the policy which is formed in your hospital. Friends, before proceeding further, let us understand what the fire is. Fire is a chemical process known as combustion. Fire takes place when the following are seen, that is smoke, light and heat. Fire can burn anything on this earth if required temperature is given, hence nothing is fireproof in this world. So in a fire triangle, we see oxygen, heat and fuel. These three things are a must for a chemical reaction to happen and for ignition of a fire. In a fire triangle, we have seen heat, fuel and oxygen are required for chemical reaction to happen and fire to ignite. Now let us see what are the sources of heat, fuel and oxygen. Sources of ignition or heat includes electric spark, naked flames, electrical, gas, portable heating equipment, hot processes, paint stripping, welding and lighting equipment and many more. Sources of fuel includes flammable liquid based products, packaging materials, waste products, stationery, soft furnishings and furniture and some construction materials, and many more fluids will be available in hospital. Sources of oxygen includes the air around us, air conditioning what we use in hospitals, and some chemicals and oxygen supplies, that is cylinder storage. How is fire extinguished? Fire can be extinguished by removing any one of the basic elements by which fire is ignited. Removing oxygen by covering is called as smothering method. As in this image you can see, the fuel which is burnt is covered with something, because of which the oxygen is depleted and the fire is put off. As we know, oxygen is required for chemical reaction to happen which ignites the fire. So here we are removing oxygen. If oxygen itself is not available, then the fire obviously is put off. The second method is starvation method. Here we remove fuel itself. As in this image you can see, the fuel itself is removed, because of which fire cannot be ignited. The third method is cooling method. Removing heat or temperature by cooling is called cooling method. Here in this image, as you can see, heat itself is removed. If heat is removed, fire cannot be ignited. What you need to do if you discover a fire, that is how to activate code red. Here I have taken an example of 5000 as I said earlier. So what you need to do is, whenever you see fire, you have to dial 5000 to announce the code red. You should speak loud and clear and repeat your message twice and specify exact location of fire. That is, for example, if there is a fire in room number 123, you need to say code red room number 123, code red room number 123. You should repeat this twice and it should be clear and loud. Or you can operate the nearest fire alarm, which if provided by your hospital near to your working place. Till now we saw what exactly is fire and what are the extinguishing techniques or methods and how to activate code red. Now let us see what are the types of fuel which is burning and what type of extinguishers can be used on what type of fuel which is burning. Vertically we can see fuel is categorized into A, B, C and D. A includes paper and wood and cloth. B type of fuel includes flammable liquids. C type of fuel includes electrical fire, and D type of fuel includes medical equipments. If any of these categories are being burnt or it is on fire, so what type of fire extinguishers can be used on what type of fuel which is burning. So on A type of fuel, that is if paper is burning or wood is burning or cloth is burning, only water and DCP can be used, that is dry chemical powder type of extinguishers can be used. We should not use carbon dioxide extinguishers. Similarly, B, that is flammable liquids, on flammable liquids we should never use water, rather we can use dry chemical powder and carbon dioxide type of extinguishers. In category C type of fuel C, that is if electrical equipment is on fire, if electrical equipment catches fire, you should never use water, as there is a chance of electrocution for you and there is a risk of electrocution for surrounding area as well. So we should always use dry chemical powder and carbon dioxide type in case of category C, that is electrical fire. In category D, that is medical equipments, if it is burning, so we should never use water and carbon dioxide type of extinguishers. We should only use dry chemical powder. Why? Because these medical equipments are always costly. If you put water on it or if carbon dioxide is also put on it, there is a chance of electrocution and as well as it gets damaged, which cannot be repaired. In your hospital, if paper, wood or cloth is getting burnt, so what you need to do is you can use either water or dry chemical powder as discussed earlier. In hospital, fire hose reel is provided in all the buildings to fight with the fire using water. So how to use hose reel system, fire hose reel system is, you need to remember codes for this. That is, pull out the hose reel drum, open the control valve, roll out the hose, turn on the nozzle, spray water over the fire. What we need to do is we need to pull out the hose reel drum if it is closed system of hose reel system, and we need to open the valve for the water to get into the hose, roll out the hose, that is pull out the hose, and turn on the nozzle and spray water over the fire until it gets off. Remember one thing, do not use water on flammable liquids, electrical wires and medical equipments. As we had already discussed this, never use water on these flammable liquids, wires and medical equipments. If you are using fire extinguisher, you need to remember pass, that is pull the pin which is provided on the fire extinguisher, aim at the base of the fire, squeeze the handle, sweep side to side. This is what you need to remember whenever you are using fire extinguisher. Suppose if you see fire in your vicinity or in your ward, what to do in that case? You should always remember RACE, that is, you should always rescue those patients who are immediately near to the fire. Activate the alarm by calling hospital operator and by activating code red, and pull the fire alarm if it is provided by your hospital. And C, we should always contain the fire. How we can do this is by closing the doors and windows in the immediate area of fire. Extinguishing the fire with proper fire extinguisher. As discussed earlier, proper type of extinguisher should be used for a particular type of fuel which is burning. In case of fire, what precautions you need to take? You should not stop to collect personal belongings which are in the vicinity of fire. Do not use lift at any instance. Do not run, and you should not be panic. And you should not re-enter the building for any reason unless you are authorized to do so. Do not go into unknown spaces to fight fire. Use the extinguisher only if you feel comfortable. First you be safe. If you are safe, then you can make others safe. Remember, never fight a fire if you do not know what is burning, if you do not know how to operate an extinguisher, if the fire appears to be too large to handle with one extinguisher, the fire is spreading rapidly beyond the spot where it started, and if you do not have adequate or appropriate fire extinguisher, you might inhale toxic smoke. If your instincts tell you should not stay in the area of fire, then these are the points where you should never fight a fire. In case of fire, evacuation of patients is prioritized in the following sequence. First, ambulatory patients are moved out or evacuated from the fire vicinity. Next, patients requiring some assistance are evacuated, and next, critically ill patients, that is the patients who are on ventilator or comatose patient or completely bedridden patients, are evacuated. In case of fire, there is a procedure for evacuation. You should always follow the instructions given by the safety officer designated by your hospital. Move yourself as well as the patients immediately by the nearest safest exit. You should leave quickly, but you should not run. If possible, close all the doors behind you to contain the fire. You should always report at the designated assembly area, which is designated as per your hospital guidelines. You should not leave designated assembly area unless given all clear by the safety officer. If any injuries are sustained, you should always notify the safety officer so that the further injuries can be managed. advise or inform the safety officer immediately if you feel that, or if you have seen that the patients or some of the people are trapped in the building. Assembly area is a specified or designated area outside the building where all the employees have to assemble for the head count in case of fire. This assembly area should be known to each and every staff, and it should be properly labeled. What to do if your clothes catches fire? You should stop, drop and roll. You should stop and you should not run, because if you are running, obviously you are making the fire bigger. You should drop on the ground or floor, and you should roll over and over until the flames are smothered. And you should always remember, cover your face with hands. In case of fire, here are some displays and signages. Fire exit signage showing the route of exit out of the building in case of fire. Lift instruction saying in case of fire you should never use lift, you should always use stairs. And fire extinguisher signages showing the operating instructions. Fire exit plan. Fire exit plan shows how to exit out of the building in case of fire, and it also shows where exactly your location is and what is the safest and easiest route of exit out of the building in case of fire. Firefighting instructions. This signage includes what to do in case of fire, that is how to activate code red, and as well as how to use the extinguisher and where the extinguishers are usually located, and what type of extinguishers to be used on what type of fire. These are the provisions provided by the hospital for firefighting. First, let us see what are smoke detectors. Smoke detectors detect smoke and alerts or alarms the safety staff that the fire is about to happen in a particular place or area. Second, water sprinklers. Water sprinkler contain a glass bulb which is filled with liquid based glycerin, which expands when heated at a temperature of 79 to 100 degrees Celsius. What happens is, whenever there is a fire, the heat is pushed towards the ceiling or walls, which increases the temperature and expands the liquid. If this liquid expands, then it breaks the glass. When it breaks the glass, water sprinkles out of the sprinkler. Third is fire extinguisher. We already have seen about the fire extinguishers. Fourth are the hose reel, which are of two types. One is open type, which is kept adjacent to the building, and the other is of closed type of hose reel box, which is located near to the vicinity of the building. In hospital, we have other provisions like fire hydrant wall, fire alarm switch, that is MCP, and fire bucket. Fire hydrant wall works with the pressure principle, wherein water is pumped out with pressure to fight with the fire. Fire alarm switch will be provided on each of the floor or each of the building, wherein you can manually activate the code red. We call MCP as manual call point. Fire buckets are provided which might contain sand or water. This sand prevents the spread of flammable liquid which is spilled on the ground, and which might ignite if it catches fire, or if there is a source of fire, it might catch fire and it will spread to the surrounding space. Fire bucket containing sand also is used where we use in labs and hospitals, like acetones, alcohols, ether, xylene, benzene and toluene. These are the chemicals or liquids what we use in labs and hospitals, which are highly flammable. This bucket is used in places where these highly flammable liquids are used. These are some common causes of fire in a hospital. In first image, as you can see, there is overcrowding of electrical cables, which might be a risk of fire. In second image, you can see the files are very crowdedly kept, wherein there is a chance of, if there is a small ignition, then obviously it will burn whole room. In third image, you can see cooling equipments, that is cooling fans and all, are not properly cleaned and maintained. And in fourth image, you can see electrical wires are kept crowdedly, and as well as you can see a bag nearby, which increases the chance of fire ignition. Fire in hospitals are mainly caused due to unauthorized smoking, electrical malfunctions, equipment misuse, and careless behavior of the staff, patient, or patient attender. In any hospital, fire extinguisher or fire exit should not be blocked or obstructed. Here are some examples of this violation. In first image, you can see fire extinguisher is blocked with many of the materials and equipments kept below it, which in case of emergency cannot be easily accessible. In second image, you can see fire extinguisher is covered with cloth, which might sometimes go unnoticed in case of emergency. And in third image, you can see fire exit is blocked with many of the materials kept. When can we say code red is concluded? Code red is concluded when all the patients, patient attenders, visitors, and hospital staffs are evacuated and accounted for. Here, head count is made of all the patients, patient attenders, visitors, and hospital staffs, and ensure that all are out of the building. You should always remember safety first. If you are safe, then you can make others safe. Be safe. Thank you. Here are some questions which are commonly asked during assessment.